Stop. Before you close this video, I need you to watch every single second of what I'm about to share with you. Because what's happening to your body right now, while you sleep, could be silently destroying your health. And the scariest part? You feel nothing. You wake up, you make your coffee, you go about your day, completely unaware that your blood sugar was spiking dangerously through the night. No pain, no alarm, no warning, just silent damage, night after night. I'm Dr. Name, and over the past 2 decades I've worked with thousands of patients, men and women just like you, who came into my office complaining of fatigue, weight gain, blurry vision, and brain fog. And do you know what we found when we ran the numbers? Their blood sugar was spiking while they slept. Not after a sugary meal, not after a soda, in their sleep, in the dark, when they had absolutely no idea it was happening. Here's what nobody is telling you. Your doctor checks your blood sugar during the day, maybe in the morning, maybe after a meal, but that nighttime window, those critical 6 to 8 hours while you're unconscious, that's a blind spot, a dangerous, life-altering blind spot. And if you don't know what to look for, you could be years into a metabolic crisis before anyone catches it. We're talking about an increased risk of type 2 diabetes, heart disease, nerve damage, kidney failure, cognitive decline, all because of something that happens while you're dreaming. Now here's what I want you to understand. There are warning signs. Your body is trying to tell you. It's sending signals, quiet, easy-to-miss signals, that most people brush off as stress, aging, or just not sleeping well. But these signals mean something. And once you know what they are, you can never unsee them. Today, I'm breaking down the 3 most critical warning signs that your blood sugar is spiking while you sleep. We're going from number 3 all the way down to number 1, okay? And trust me, number 1 is the one that shocked even my most informed patients. Stay with me, because this information could literally change or save your life. Let's begin. Let's start with warning sign number 3. And this one, almost everyone gets wrong. You wake up exhausted, even after 8 hours of sleep. Not a little tired, not I could use 1 more hour, tired. We're talking. You open your eyes and it feels like you never slept at all. Your body feels heavy. Your head feels foggy. You drag yourself to the bathroom, look in the mirror, and think, why am I this tired? You blame stress. You blame your mattress. You blame getting older. But here's what's actually happening inside your body. When your blood sugar spikes in the middle of the night, your pancreas panics. It floods your bloodstream with insulin, desperately trying to pull that sugar out of your blood and push it into your cells. This creates a roller coaster. A spike, then a crash. A crash so hard that your body reads it as a stress signal and releases cortisol, your fight-or-flight hormone, right in the middle of the night. Cortisol at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Your body thinks it's under attack. Your heart rate rises slightly. Your sleep becomes shallow. You stop getting deep, restorative REM sleep. And even though your eyes were closed for 8 hours, your body was fighting a war the entire time. I had a patient, let's call her Maria, 47 years old, school teacher. She came to me exhausted beyond words. She said, "Doctor, I sleep every night, but I wake up feeling like I ran a marathon." Her family thought she was depressed. Her previous doctor gave her sleeping pills. We ran a continuous glucose monitor on her for 2 weeks. Her blood sugar was spiking to 180, sometimes 200, every single night between 2 and 4 a.m. 2 weeks of dietary changes and a simple evening routine, and Maria was waking up feeling rested for the first time in 4 years. The actionable fix for warning sign 3? Stop eating within 3 hours of bedtime. That late-night snack, even if it feels small and harmless, can trigger a blood sugar spike that lasts for hours into your sleep, especially if it contains refined carbohydrates or hidden sugars. Swap it for a small handful of almonds or nothing at all. Give your body a chance to stabilize before you close your eyes. Now. Warning sign number 2. This one is more personal, more embarrassing, and almost nobody talks about it. You wake up in the middle of the night needing to urinate. Once, sometimes twice, maybe more. You've told yourself it's because you drank too much water before bed, or maybe you think it's just part of getting older. But here's the truth your body is screaming at you. When blood sugar rises too high, your kidneys go into overdrive. They begin pulling excess glucose out of the blood and flushing it out through urine. And to do that, they need water. So your body pulls water from your tissues, fills your bladder, and wakes you up. This is called nocturnal polyuria. And it is one of the earliest and most overlooked signs of blood sugar dysregulation. A 2021 study published in Diabetes Care found that people who reported waking up 2 or more times per night to urinate had a 36% higher risk of undiagnosed prediabetes compared to those who slept through the night. 36%, and most of them had no idea. I remember another patient, a 52-year-old man named James, retired, active guy. He came in because his wife made him. She was tired of him waking her up every night getting out of bed. James thought it was his prostate. We checked. His prostate was fine. His fasting blood sugar, 118, pre-diabetic range. 3 months later, with the right intervention, James was sleeping through the night. And so was his wife. The actionable fix for warning sign 2, track it. Starting tonight, write down how many times you wake up to use the bathroom. If it's happening 2 or more times consistently, don't ignore it. Ask your doctor for a fasting glucose test and a hemoglobin A1C, not just one. Both, because one test alone can miss what's happening in your sleep. And speaking of missing things, what's coming next is what I call the invisible warning sign. The one that hides in plain sight. The one that's so common, people spend years assuming it's normal. It is not normal. Before I reveal the number 1 warning sign, I need you to understand something important. Everything I've shared so far, the exhaustion, the midnight bathroom trips, those are your body's early distress signals. They are manageable. They are reversible, if you catch them now. But what I'm about to tell you changes everything, because the warning signs we're approaching now, they don't just affect your sleep, they affect your brain, your heart, your eyesight, your future, and the statistics behind them are genuinely terrifying. Right now, the Centers for Disease Control estimates that 96 million Americans have prediabetes. That's 1 in 3 adults. And here is the number that stopped me cold when I first read it. 80% of them don't know it. They are walking around, living their lives, sleeping every night, while their blood sugar silently spikes, silently damages, silently progresses, and by the time most of them find out, the damage has already begun. We're talking about nerve damage in the feet and hands. We're talking about the tiny blood vessels behind your eyes beginning to deteriorate. We're talking about your kidneys quietly losing function, year by year, night by night. Now let me ask you something personal. Have you ever woken up with a headache that you just couldn't explain? Not a migraine. Not a tension headache from stress. Just a dull, heavy pressure, usually across the forehead or behind the eyes. That's there before you even get out of bed. You drink some water, maybe take a painkiller, and by mid-morning it fades, so you forget about it. But here's what that headache is actually telling you. When blood sugar spikes during sleep, it disrupts the delicate osmotic balance in your brain. The neurons, your brain cells, are incredibly sensitive to glucose fluctuations. When sugar floods the bloodstream at night, it pulls fluid from brain tissue, creates subtle inflammatory responses, and triggers vascular changes that manifest as that morning headache. A landmark study from the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that patients with nocturnal blood sugar spikes reported morning headaches at a rate 3 times higher than those with stable overnight glucose levels, 3 times higher, and yet most people never connect the dots. I treated a patient, a 44-year-old woman named Sandra, marketing executive, sharp, driven, incredibly health conscious. She exercised 5 days a week. She ate what she thought was a clean diet. But she came to me because she was getting morning headaches almost every single day for over a year. She had seen a neurologist. She had an MRI. Everything came back normal. I asked her one question that her other doctors never asked. Sandra, what do you eat after 7 p.m.? She thought about it. Rice cakes, a little dark chocolate, sometimes a bowl of cereal because it felt light. Every single one of those foods, despite feeling harmless, was spiking her blood sugar between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. We confirmed it with a glucose monitor. Her levels were hitting 190 while she slept. Within 6 weeks of changing her evening habits, her morning headaches disappeared completely. 6 weeks. Now I want you to think about this carefully. If blood sugar dysregulation can silently cause exhaustion, force you out of bed at night, and give you daily headaches that even neurologists miss, what do you think it's doing to the rest of your body over months, over years, over decades? The answer is not comfortable. Long-term nocturnal blood sugar spikes are directly linked to accelerated cognitive decline. Research published in the journal Diabetologia found that individuals with poor overnight glucose regulation showed measurably faster deterioration in memory and processing speed, even before they were officially diagnosed with diabetes. Your brain is aging faster than it should. Your heart is working harder than it should. And most people have absolutely no idea, because they feel mostly fine. Mostly fine is not fine. And now, we arrive at warning sign number 1, the one I saved for last, the one that I believe is the most important and the most ignored sign of all. This warning sign doesn't wake you up. It doesn't give you a headache. It doesn't send you to the bathroom. It hides, quietly, patiently, and it shows up somewhere you look at every single morning, but probably never think twice about. All right. This is the moment I've been building toward, and I need you to pay close attention, because what I'm about to share with you is something that most doctors, even good doctors, are not connecting to blood sugar. Not yet. Not routinely. But the science is there. It's clear. And it's alarming. Warning sign number 1. You wake up sweating, or you wake up with your heart pounding, or both. Not because of a nightmare, not because the room is too warm. You simply wake up. Heart racing, sheets damp, a strange, unsettled feeling in your chest that you can't quite explain. It passes within a few minutes. Your heart slows down. You roll over. You tell yourself it was nothing. It was not nothing. Here is exactly what is happening inside your body during that moment. When you eat, especially in the evening, your blood sugar rises. For people with healthy metabolic function, it rises gently, peaks modestly, and comes back down smoothly, like a calm wave. But for millions of people whose insulin sensitivity has begun to decline, even slightly, that wave becomes a tsunami. Blood sugar shoots up rapidly. The pancreas overreacts. It releases a surge of insulin far larger than what's actually needed. That insulin drives blood sugar down. Fast. Too fast. Now, instead of a spike, you have a crash. This is called reactive hypoglycemia. And when it happens at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. while you're asleep, your body treats it like an emergency. The adrenal glands fire. Adrenaline floods your system. Cortisol surges. Your liver dumps stored glucose back into the bloodstream in a desperate attempt to bring your levels back up. Your heart rate climbs. Your sweat glands activate. And you wake up, disoriented, frightened, not knowing why. Now here is where the science becomes truly sobering. A study published in the American Heart Journal tracked over 3,000 patients for 10 years. Those who experienced regular nocturnal adrenaline surges, the kind triggered by overnight blood sugar crashes, had a 47% higher risk of developing cardiovascular disease compared to those with stable overnight glucose. 47%, because your heart is not designed to be jolted awake by adrenaline night after night, the repeated stress on your arterial walls, the chronic cortisol exposure, the inflammatory cascade that follows each of these nighttime emergencies. It adds up, quietly, invisibly. And here is the piece that haunts me most as a physician. This warning sign is almost universally misdiagnosed. Patients are told they have anxiety. They are prescribed sleep aids. They are told it's perimenopause. They are told it's stress. They are given beta blockers to slow the heart rate without anyone ever asking, why is the heart racing in the first place? I want to tell you about a patient named Robert, 58 years old, retired firefighter, strong man, proud man, the kind of man who spent his entire career running toward emergencies and never once thought his own body would become one. Robert started waking up at 3 a.m. with his heart pounding so hard he could feel it in his throat. He was convinced he was having heart attacks. His wife drove him to the emergency room 3 times in 4 months. Every EKG came back normal. Every cardiac panel came back clear. The ER doctors told him it was panic attacks. They gave him a referral to a psychiatrist. Robert came to me as a last resort. He sat across from my desk and said, And I will never forget this. Doctor, I'm not anxious. I've pulled people out of burning buildings. I know what fear feels like. This is something else. He was right. I put Robert on a continuous glucose monitor for 2 weeks. What we found was textbook. Every single night, between 1 a.m. and 4 a.m., his blood sugar would spike sharply after dropping from an earlier evening high. The reactive crash was triggering a full adrenal response. His body was pulling him out of sleep to save itself. Robert was not having panic attacks. Robert was having a metabolic emergency every single night. We restructured his entire evening. We eliminated his after-dinner snacking. We added a specific combination of protein and healthy fat before bed to stabilize overnight glucose. We addressed his insulin sensitivity with targeted dietary changes and a short evening walk. Within 3 weeks, Robert was sleeping through the night for the first time in over a year. Within 3 months, his morning blood pressure readings had dropped significantly. Within 6 months, Robert told me, and this is what I do this work for, he said, I feel like I got my life back. And here is what I need you to hear right now. Robert almost slipped through the cracks. He almost spent the rest of his life being medicated for a condition he didn't have, while the real problem continued silently destroying his cardiovascular system night after night. How many people do you think are in Robert's position right now? How many people are being told it's anxiety, it's age, it's just stress? The answer is millions. And the saddest part? The fix is not complicated. It is not expensive. It does not require a prescription. It requires awareness. It requires knowing what to look for. It requires connecting the dots that no one else connected for Robert, until it was almost too late. You now know what to look for. 3 warning signs. 3 signals your body sends. 3 opportunities to intervene before the damage becomes irreversible. But knowing the warning signs is only half the battle. What you do next is everything. Let's bring this home, because I don't want you to leave this video feeling scared. I want you to leave feeling something far more powerful than fear. I want you to leave feeling informed, equipped, and in control. So let's go back through everything we covered today, because your life may literally depend on remembering these 3 warning signs. Warning sign number 3. You wake up exhausted. Every morning. No matter how many hours you slept, your body spent the night riding a blood sugar roller coaster, spiking, crashing, flooding your system with cortisol, instead of resting and repairing the way it was designed to. The fix? Stop eating at least 3 hours before bed. Eliminate the late-night carbohydrates. Give your body the overnight stability it desperately needs. Warning sign number 2. You wake up at night needing to urinate. Once, twice, sometimes more. Your kidneys are working overtime, flushing excess glucose from your bloodstream through your urine. Your body is literally trying to drain the sugar out of itself while you sleep. The fix? Track it starting tonight. If it's happening consistently, get tested. Ask your doctor for both a fasting glucose and a hemoglobin A1C. Demand both, because one test alone will not show you the full picture. And warning sign number 1. You wake up with your heart pounding. Sheets damp with sweat, a surge of adrenaline pulling you out of deep sleep in the middle of the night. Your blood sugar crashed, your adrenal glands fired, your heart paid the price. The fix? Never go to bed on a blood sugar spike. A short 10-minute walk after dinner can reduce post-meal glucose by up to 30%. Add a small amount of protein and healthy fat before sleep, not carbohydrates, to anchor your blood sugar through the night. And if these episodes are happening regularly, please, do not let anyone tell you it's just anxiety. Push for answers. Now here is the bigger picture I want you to carry with you. Your body is not betraying you. It is communicating with you, constantly, faithfully, with every symptom, every signal, every restless night, every foggy morning. The problem is that we live in a world that teaches us to silence those signals. Take a pill for the headache. Take a sleeping aid for the fatigue. Take an anti-anxiety medication for the racing heart. But what if, instead of silencing the signal, you listen to it? What if exhaustion was not a character flaw but a clue? What if waking up at 3 a.m. was not bad luck but biological data? What if your body has been trying to tell you something important, and today was the day you finally heard it? I have spent over 2 decades watching patients transform their health not through dramatic interventions or expensive treatments, but through awareness, through understanding what their body was telling them, through making small, consistent, intentional changes that compounded over weeks and months into extraordinary results. Maria sleeps through the night now. James and his wife both do. Sandra hasn't had a morning headache in over a year. Robert feels like he got his life back, and you can too. It starts with tonight. Tonight, choose to eat your last meal a little earlier. Take a short walk after dinner. Skip the late-night snack. Drink a glass of water. And when you lay your head down, know that you are giving your body the best possible chance to heal itself while you sleep. That is not a small thing. That is everything. Now before you go, I have one request. If anything in this video resonated with you, if you recognized one of these warning signs in yourself or someone you love, drop a comment below right now and tell me which warning sign surprised you the most. Was it number 3, the exhaustion that sleep won't fix? Was it number 2, the midnight bathroom trips your body uses to flush sugar? Or was it number 1, the racing heart and night sweats that millions of people are told is just anxiety? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. And if you found this information valuable, please share this video with someone you care about, a parent, a spouse, a friend who keeps saying they're tired all the time but doesn't know why. You might be handing them something more valuable than you realize, because the truth is, this information doesn't cost anything. But not knowing it? That cost can be devastating. Take care of yourself. Take care of the people you love. And I will see you in the next one.